your wife wants you to be more like a teddy bear, you know.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we don't get it. We get an answer, but we're so dense we don't get it. And so it wasn't until I talked to my wife the next morning that I finally realized, oh, that's what that dream was all about. And so ever since then, I've been much nicer and more cuddly and warm and all
I
that
can
kind of
tell
stuff.
by your facial expression and your eyes. And I'm like, like, oh yeah, you know, that's really bad, you know. I can tell that you don't naturally associate with that.
Yeah, I am not a teddy bear person. We do not have one teddy bear in the house. So. But again, the important thing is understanding symbolism. And so if you want to understand dream symbolism better, I'd recommend the books by Patricia Garfield. She has a PhD in psychotherapy. Patricia Garfield, or the books by Gail Delaney, Delaney. Those are both excellent books on dream interpretation and can also lead to other books. There's other good books on dream interpretation, but those are the ones that really helped me.
Very well. Another experience that I have a lot is kind of like falling all of a sudden. And it's almost like a falling through the ground specifically. And I don't know why, but it feels like it's something more. It feels like it's something more than just the obvious dream that's going on.
Yeah, Lena, these are your lucid dreams or dream experiences. But if they were mine, if I was going too high and also falling to the ground, it would just keep coming back to this issue of maybe taking the middle path and not being the extreme career woman and not being extreme in any sense, but taking the middle path. That's what I would say if it was mine. But anyway, it's yours.
Well,
our next episode, dream interpretation with Robert Waggoner.
no, I was actually not so much asking about the interpretation, but if you fall and then you get it jolted into a new situation, that's what happened to me. I kind of got jolted back into my bed, but still having the black void. So it was a change setting, but I was still in my bed. And then that happened to me for the very first time. I wanted to ask you if you ever done that. I faked myself into a false awakening.
Oh, wow.
So I had a lucid false awakening. Have you ever had that?
Well, I've definitely had false awakenings, and in false awakenings have realized that I'm still dreaming and then normally wake up for good. But I don't think in that way, though. That does sound kind of interesting, though. Oh, neat.
Yeah. I was basically, you know, I was falling, and then that always leads to a completely new scene, or most of the times a black void. And then I can kind of harvest that black void, you know, when I think, oh no, it's already over, I kind of harvest it. And, you know, I said to myself, okay, I'm lying in my bed, I'm lucid in that black void. And then I kind of made me wake up. And from the very beginning, I was lucid, but I literally tricked my subconscious somehow in thinking it was still real. Everything felt very real. So that was my first fake false awakening. I didn't even know that you could do that.
No, that's good.
But it was cool because usually I struggle a lot with, you know, dimness in lucid dreams and
really?
darkness, and just in terms of lightning, which makes it kind of hard to experience the full, you know, resolution of the dream and have cool experiences. And when clarity now doesn't work, or stability now, that's sometimes a little bit annoying. So having a false awakening, it's daylight and it's very real because, you know, it's already very real. So that gave me really good, stable lucid dream, actually.
Oh, you know, and that reminds me of a lucid dream I had a month or two ago. So in the lucid dream, there was a candle, and I decided to intellectually merge with the candle, but the light got a little bit bigger, but not much different. And then my intuition told me to merge my heart with the candle light, and as soon as I merged my heart with the candle light, then the room just became very, very bright. And so it was kind of a lesson in the power of the intellect versus the power of the heart. When I merged my heart with the light of awareness, then everything became light. but when I merged my mind with the light of awareness, it got a little bit brighter, but not significantly. So I think a lot of us go through periods where we have dim lighting in our lucid dreams, and it may be a symbolic aspect, especially when we shout out greater clarity now or greater awareness now, and it might improve a little bit, but not very much.
So do you think that's intellect maybe being too powerful sometimes?
Yeah. Sometimes I think if we bring our heart into the situation more, then the natural luminosity will become greater. But so often in our waking life, we're led around by our head and by our ego. We hardly ever listen to our heart. But when we start to listen to our heart more, then I think things become brighter.
That's a great insight. I mean, duh, I want to write that down, and I want to test that somehow, because that's really one of the 40% of the downsides of my lucid dreams is just like twitching a little bit on the quality, having a greater resolution, better lighting, and just more feel to it. And that definitely applies to me. I'm a very heady person, unfortunately.
So what you might want to do if you want to experiment with this or play around with it is in your next lucid dream, if it's dim, announce your love for lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
Begin to announce your love and gratitude for lucid dreaming, your gratitude for being in this space and time, for having this life experience, and then watch what happens to the lights, and kind of put your heart into the lucid dream, and see, who knows what'll happen, but that'd be a way to experiment with this idea.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I feel that's going to open up so much more layers all of a sudden. Maybe bring me back to where I was. Maybe it's also a temporal thing sometimes where we kind of detach a little bit, or we're not as connected.
Right.
That's cool. Another question was from Alexander. He said, I started practicing lucid dreaming again a few months. What I did was write my dream journal and do reality checks. Do you think this is a good goal to achieve lucid dreams?
Well, people vary. Some people are great at suggestion. If they use the proper suggestion, they'll become lucidly aware. Other people need visual techniques. If they use visual techniques, they'll become lucidly aware. Lately, in the last 5 or 6 years, people seem to be really hooked on reality checks. If they work for you, that's great. But if they don't work for you, you got to look around and maybe get some good books and start to read about how other people have become lucidly aware and try those other techniques. If it works for you, that's great. If it doesn't, then you have to move on.
Are you more of a wild or adult person?
I don't talk so much about wild, but I use it, especially when I wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning, and then as I'm falling back asleep, I'll tell myself, in my next dream, I'll realize I'm dreaming. In my next dream, I'll realize I'm dreaming. And I just say that softly to myself, and oftentimes I'll have a lucid dream then. But I have to remember to do it at 4 o'clock in the morning. But a lot of my lucid dreams are just the ones where something's wrong. How did I get to this place? And then I think, oh, this is a lucid dream.
Yeah, it's astounding sometimes how long it takes me to become lucidly aware. Like I'm already in the middle of flying and like, wait a minute, there's ridiculous stuff happening, and then in the last few minutes you're realizing, and you're like, really that didn't trigger your lucidity? Really?
Exactly.
It's funny sometimes. Another question we had from Gillis Parrish was, who would you say are your major influences in regards to lucid dreaming?